Hi, I'm Tim from Weber, and today we're going to assemble the Weber Genesis E330. This one happens to be in copper, and hopefully you'll find it pretty easy to assemble. What we're going to do is basically take all the parts out and lay them out and then follow the instructions. Here are the instructions on here, and the only tools you're really going to need is a Phillips and a regular screwdriver, a 7/16 wrench. You can use a crescent wrench, a socket set, and that's really about all you'll need. I use a knife cutter just to break some tape, but other than that, it's real simple. So follow along. Hopefully you'll find it pretty easy and pretty simple. Now in unpacking the parts on here, the best thing to do is actually, there's two pins in the back of the lid. You want to take those pins out, and then you want to lift the lid out. There's a lot of parts inside the lid, inside the cook box, so it's too heavy to lift it up all together, so we always just take that out. Okay, we've got all the parts out, taken out of the boxes, and we're going to start assembling. This is, just to let you know, this is the hardware pack, so there's not very many pieces, and I just always dump them into the catch tray, just so it keeps everything well organized. Okay, we're going to start out, and we're just going to go step by step, 1, 2, 3, and the best thing, like we said before, is just go step by step by step. Don't get ahead of yourself, because it's designed to flow real smooth, and sometimes if you get too far ahead, you're going to take a piece off to go back to a previous step. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to connect the two side panels together with this connecting bar. Okay, we got, and you can determine the front of these panels by the little clips. These are for the doors, so this, you always know that's the front. So this goes across the back, and right through here. Okay, we've got this assembled. Next thing we're going to do is flip this up and put the casters on. You've got two types of casters. You've got a locking caster and a non-locking caster. It's two locking casters. They go in the front. And again, you know the front by the little knobs for the door hinge. So this is where the locking caster will go in the front, and the non-locking in the back. Just push those in. Okay, and we'll take the frame and flip it back up. And now we're going to put the front panel across. The next thing we're going to assemble, add to the grill, is the bottom piece. A couple points here. This is the front of the bottom, because you can see the magnets for the front door, so you know this goes in the front. What we're going to need to do is add some clips in here so they hold the bolts in there. So in the packets are these small clips, and they just slide in here like this. And there's 6 of them on here. They'll just drop down here like this. And there's 2 bolts will go on each side. And those, we're just going to put the 2 side ones in first. The next piece we're going to put on, this is the holder for the drip pan. This will go in like this, and you have 2 little pieces. There's 2 little black clips. They actually go in the bottom on the bottom tray. This will allow the screw to go into it. Just for a little information, on the side of this panel here is all the information on your grill. Your serial number, your model number, the name of the grill, and anything to contact Weber. It's also on your owner's manual as well. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to drop the cook box. You can see the cart's getting pretty well assembled. We're going to drop the cook box down into the assembled part that we have right here. The key thing here is you want to drop the hose inside the grill. All the hoses go down underneath. And then this is the igniter box, and this actually stays on the outside because it'll hook into the control panel. All right? So you can see how that nests in there real nice. All right, the next thing we'll do, we're going to hook in some bolts into the side here just to stabilize the cook box. This nut nets into this little slot here, and you can tighten it up. Try to keep it even on both sides. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to attach the bulkhead. This is the connection for the gas lines to the side of the grill. There's 2 little screws, and they come in from the outside, and you just attach that over here towards the back. The next thing we're going to attach is our tank scale. This is kind of a unique feature to Weber, and what it is, this is where you hang your LP tank. And what it does, it has different icons on there, and as the tank gets lighter as it uses up gas, it kind of gives you an indication of how much gas you have left in your tank. This is going to go on the side of the grill right over here, and this is where your tank will actually hang. Make sure your gas line goes up behind that, tucks it away so it stays out of the way. These are called tank glides. They go down here on the side, and they just help the LP tank hang straight. Just it's a little bit of support. So it's just two little black caps and then screws on the back side. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna attach the back to it. We'll spin the grill around. Now when you put these in, you don't want to over tighten them because it'll kind of bend in a little bit. So just make it so it's snug and it's flush, okay? So now we've got majority of the cart and the cook box assembled in here. We've got a few more parts to do. We'll start working on the side shelves and the control panel. Okay, next we're going to put the control panel on here, and this is the control panel here. And there'll be 4 screws that'll go in here. One for the control panel to go into the cook box, and one for the windscreen to go underneath here. So there's just slots right under here. The first thing you're going to do is put the igniter into the control panel. So there's a little ring, you just screw that in there, so that'll stay. And then it comes with a battery. Insert the battery in here. And this is the push button. You just screw that on top. Now the Genesis grills has an igniter on every single burner. All right, so now the control panel just nests right down, and you can see it just drops right into here. And then we're going to put 2 screws underneath to hold it in. This is the bottom side of the control panel, so you'll just slip that up in there, and there's 2 screws that go into the bottom. Next, we're going to insert the drip tray. This goes down underneath the grill. This is part of our grease management system. So when the drippings go down, they come into here and ultimately out this hole into our catch pan. This will be positioned right here. Now, one of the best words of advice we could give you is every month or two, take this out, over to your trash can and clean this out. Almost all your flare-ups on a grill are going to happen right here from things that have accumulated underneath here. So this just slides right underneath here into the bottom of the grill. Okay, when the doors come out of the packaging, there's a stainless steel trim around the doors. You want to make sure you take the time and peel this off. It's very simple, it takes 2 minutes, but it's very important you take it off. There's 2 holes on here, and so you'll put these little gray pieces in the holes, along with the screw. And then the handle goes right on the front. Just use the Phillips screwdriver. And it'll just attach. Now in each door there's a hole in the bottom, which will go right over this little knob here. And there's a little pin that presses down. And these will go on the outside. So this is the right-hand side door. So it goes right on here. You push this in, and it pops in there. And the door's right like that. Okay, next we're going to put the 2 shelves on the side. This side will just be a solid shelf. And on this side over here on the 330, we've got an actual side burner. So again, like we had on the doors, we actually have some protective wrapping on the stainless steel. So you're going to have to take a minute and peel all that off. This is a washer, and then this is the nut. So the shelf will go on here, and then you're going to place like this on here. So the actual part of the shelf will be in between here, so it goes right here. All right, so you just drop this on here. Next thing we're going to do is put the side burner into the side shelf here. You need to unpack this so that the actual cooking grid is in the plastic bag. And then again, there's some plastic on here to protect the metal, so you'll need to peel that off as well. All right, this just drops right into here. The 4 screws will line up. They're, again, Phillips screws. The knob goes right there. Now underneath here, you'll need to go down, and there's a gas hose that needs to be connected around here. This is called a quick disconnect. See, this slides back. You'll insert this into the side burner and then pop it forward, and it'll lock in. Now we're just going to basically put the insides of the grill together. You've got, in the 330, you've got, in the Genesis, you have these heat deflectors. They go down underneath the burner tubes. So they'll just slide underneath here like this. Okay, next there's 5 flavorizer bars. And what these flavorizer bars do is, number one, you can see how they're positioned over the burner tubes, and they protect the burner tubes as drippings go down, so the burner tubes will never clog up. The other thing is, because they're metal, they'll get hot from front to back, so you have even heating all the way through the grill. And there's 5 of these, and that creates even heat all throughout there. And then finally, it gets the name flavorizer bars because the drippings come down, it vaporizes some of this up, and then so you get the flavor come up back up into the grill. Put 5 bars on here. Next, we'll put our cast iron cooking grates on. Okay. This is a porcelain enamel cast iron grate. Great thing about cast iron, it's got great heat distribution, so you get even heating all the way through the grid, and it's got great heat retention, so it holds the heat real well, so you don't have to cook at a really, really high temperature to sear. It does a great job of searing. This is the flat part. This is the upside. That's what you want to use versus the triangular part. So flat side down, 2 of them in there like that. Now we're going to put the lid on and the control knobs. So we've got 3 large control knobs, and then the 4th one for our sear burner. Now what the sear burner is on the 330, it's a 4th burner in this zone right here. By having all 3 of these burners on at the same time, it creates a really, really hot zone, so you can get it up to like 600, 650 degrees if you really want to sear a steak. So the small burner goes on here, and then the large knobs go on the 3 main burners. Okay? All right. Then finally put our lid on. Lid drops in right on top like that. And there's some protective tape on there. You want to make sure you get that off. And there's, in the back, you've got 2 pins, a pin on each side. And there's a cotter pin. Just locks that in there so it can't come out. Now your lid can go up and down. Finally, we have our warming rack. Goes inside here, it goes in the back. It's got a little lip in the back so that you know that's the back side. And it just goes in here. Okay, finally, we had all our hardware in the little drip catch pan. So you want to just take this, put it underneath here. And then you're done. Now you're ready to cook. So I hope you found the assembly of the Weber Genesis E330 pretty simple. Follow along the instructions 1 step at a time and you should be fine. Again, this is the E330 in copper. It's also available in black. It's also available in green, and it's also available in natural gas. We assembled the LP gas with the tank in this video. If you have any questions during your assembly, if you are confused at all, feel free to call Weber. It's on your owner's manual at 1-800-446-1071. And someone in Chicago will answer the phone for you and walk you through any steps, any problems you might be having. Enjoy your grill. Thank you.